Field in Turner, Maine. They have just flipped the coin, and the Leavitt Hornets have won the toss. They would like to put their defense on the field first. That is what Mike Hathaway is going to do. So the Mount Blue Cougars will get the ball here in the early going and put it on the arm of Jordan Whitney to start things off. And you see the teams lining up. Leavitt will kick the ball away in those home green uniforms from left to right. The yellow pants, white shirt, yellow helmeted Mount Blue Cougars receiving from right to left. And we're set to go. A very good crowd here that's traveled down from Farmington and vicinity. Always a good crowd here in Turner for the Leavitt Hornets. It's a big game and everyone knows it.
Absolutely, and I think we set that toss up at the beginning, Rob, when we were talking about both coaches touting their defenses, and certainly no surprise. I think either team in a game like this, and as a former coach, in a big game when the adrenaline's really going, it makes a lot of sense to put your defense out there, because defense is more about a sick 'em, get after them, get physical at them, where offense is more poise, concentration, detail to assignment. So if you're in a big game and you're a little hyper, put your defense out there. Maybe they can make a big play for you. As you're taking a good look at the Leavitt huddle there as they're getting set to go. They are tougher than nails here on Libby Field. They're tough anywhere, but they are particularly tough here, as the Cougars know, but the Cougars will be ready to meet this challenge. We think we got ourselves the top game in the state here this year, and we're so glad you're with us here. We want to thank our good friends at Gardner's U.S. Cellular. We don't bring you this game without them. You've seen their ad that they put together. We did not have internet connectivity up here. I made a trip down there to see Ricky Garland, and Ricky's the manager down there, store manager Tom Purinton. See those guys. They'll take good care of you, just like they took great care of Munzing Media, and actually, they're taking care of you, because you now have a chance to watch this great football game. U.S. Cellular in Gardner.
Dustin Moore is going to kick the ball away for the Hornets. Nate Backus back in the lineup tonight as one of the men back deep to receive. Cam Abbott flanks him back there with Nick Hyde. So three men deep standing around their 17 or 18 yard line, ready to return. The Hornets taking a little extra time, huddling up by the 35 yard line as they're set to go.
Three dangerous return guys there. I saw, and you were down there, Rob, that night at Gardner when Mount Blue beat Gardner. They scored the first two times they actually touched the ball, and Abbott was a big part of that, as he went, the first time they touched the ball, he went on a reverse, so he's a big-time player.
6:57 our kickoff time. Temperature 56 degrees, light wind 5 miles an hour out of the southwest. Weather will not be a factor. Here's Moore's kick. It is a worm burner. It'll be picked up near the 37-yard line. I think that's Bradley Jackson, and it is. Jackson, you'll see a great deal of as a running back. Advances the football to the 42, so decent starting position for the Cougars. And that is where Jordan Whitney, the all-star quarterback, will take over.
One of the things you give away with those short kickoffs like that to keep it away from the return men is you give up field position, and the Cougars are in great shape there at the 42-yard line.
He'll operate out of the shotgun set. Hyde to the near side. Whitney in the backfield. Next to him, Chad Luker. The big fullback, the only man back now. Whitney screen to that far side. There's Cam Abbott, and Abbott buried on contact, dropped the ball anyway. It's incomplete. Actually, the incomplete pass there worked out better for the Cougars, so that would have been a loss.
They went empty set, and Whitney tried to get the ball out right side on the bubble screen to Abbott, the big play guy out there. But as sometimes happens there, you try to take a look upfield before you get the ball. First things first.
Ryan Bedard out in that far side had that covered very, very well for the Hornets.
Yeah, Bedard 13, so he's a player for you.
I formation now, Luker and Jackson. One man in motion is Zach Kendall. Here's Brad Jackson, big hole on the right side, cuts through to the 50-yard line, still at his feet, tackled from behind at the 41. Connor O'Malley had to come in and make that stop. Big gainer there for the Cougars, their first running play from scrimmage. Excellent work by the offensive line.
You saw Zach Kendall, the big 6'2", 260-pound, number 44 on your screen. He probably blurred everybody else out as he came from right to left on the shuffle motion, led through. Big off-tackle play. That's an old eye play right there. Just double-team kick out. Lead through.
Abbott wide to the far side. It's high to the near side. Whitney, the quarterback. Straight drop. Now he's chased. Will roll out to that far side. He is looking downfield, trying to find Abbott. It's up for grabs. It is caught by Abbott. Touchdown. Cam Abbott, 6'3", simply out-jumped the coverage man, and 39 seconds into the contest, Mount Blue has a lead.
Well, that was a jump ball. You got it right, Rob Kennedy. A jump ball with Cam Abbott. We told you Abbott's a big play potential guy, and he went up against the best defensive back that the Leavitt Hornets have, and number 13, Brian Bedard, and he wrestled that ball away from Bedard. A 41-yard touchdown pass Whitney had plenty of time, got flushed right, and then lofted it up as Abbott was able to get away.
Extra points, end over end kick taken by Nick Hickey, and it is good. So it doesn't take the Cougars long to make a statement. Just 39 seconds in, they have a 7-0 lead.
Well, you know, as much as you sometimes hype one part of the game, Rob Kennedy, and certainly we were hyping the defensive capabilities here, but you know what? There's skill guys on offense. We saw two of them right there. Whitney stood back there, got time, got flushed, rolled right through that ball on the run and put it up high. As you said to Cam Abbott, at 6'3", Abbott was able to go up over Bedard, cherry-pick the ball and dance into the end zone for that go-ahead touchdown.
Leavitt does not list the heights on their rosters. Bedard with 4 picks on the year is certainly a ball hawk. However,
he was right there.
6'3", he was there. It was simply a height differential that made that play for Mount Blue. And Abbott reached over, didn't make much contact, only made any contact, so no offensive interference, did everything right.
Well, one of the things that Coach Mike Hathaway told me when I was up here during the week was if we get Whitney off his spot and he scrambles, we got to tell our defensive backs to make sure they stay with their guys because he can throw the ball 50 yards.
Nate Coombs back deep with Brian Bedard. Whitney set to kick the ball away, and he will drill it. Bedard backs up, takes it at the 2-yard line, and here he comes. His first touch of the football, trying to cut to the near side. He is hit and brought down at the 21-yard line. Tackle made by Drew Blanchette, the senior. And Leavitt will start things off down 7-0, their first possession of the game.
Well, Leavitt certainly is not a team that will back down at all here. They've got plenty of offensive weapons themselves here, so we'll see how they're going to attack this 4-4 that the Mount Blue Cougars like to play.
Going in the shotgun. Coombs is wide to that far side. On the near side is Sam Green. And there's a handoff. Russo gets the first touch of the ball, and he is chased down and caught from behind at the 25-yard line. Looks like he got 3 or 4. And a second down coming up. Leavitt will mix it up as far as who they give the ball to.
They've got a lot of weapons back there, and they will mix the ball up, Rob. They'll be very, very varied on their offense. The thing to look at Mount Blue, they like their big guys inside to control the line of scrimmage and set those linebackers. Bradley Jackson is one of those guys. You'll see him roaming around on the perimeter a lot. Zach Kendall also inside.
Bedard is in the wing now. He is the man in motion. They'll hand it to him. He'll try to turn the corner on the near side and does, but he'll only get ahead to the 29-yard line, taken down there by Kendall Bonsall. Short of a first down, 3rd and about 3 coming up for the Hornets.
Yeah, Chad Luca also went on that. You'll see Luca, he'll be very active from that defensive end position. He's another big guy at 210. Very, very big, very athletic along the line of scrimmage. These big guys in that 4-4, that controlling unit, they can control that line of scrimmage and let those linebackers flow and make tackles.
Russo still in the contest. Now, he'll split some time with Joss Fons, who was hurt last week against Waterville, but he is in uniform and will play tonight, according to Coach Mike Hathaway. Chacoin back to pass. The righty looks to the far side and overshoots his receiver, Sam Green. Incomplete pass. The 3-and-out that Leavitt wanted wasn't on offense, but that was what they have.
Well, they wanted to move the chains, not necessarily score, but they needed to move chains, get field position here. Mount Blue should get decent field position out of that. They'll send the dangerous Cam Abbott back there. He'll be one of the deep backs, and also going back there for the Mount Blue Cougars in deep formation is Nate Backus, who's just back from injury.
They will kick the ball away. It's Green back to punt. He stands by his 16-yard line. Mount Blue receivers by their 45. Good line drive kick. Abbott's going to let that bounce. It takes a nice roll for the Leavitt Hornets all the way down inside the 30 to the 27-yard line where it stops dead. So with 9:43 to go in the first quarter, Mount Blue has a bit longer field this time. They'll start at their own 27.
So we'll see. They a couple of big plays in the first series there. One was on the kickoff where they came out to the 41-yard line, got down to the Leavitt 41, the 41-yard touchdown pass. So they also ripped off an off-tackle eye play, and they'll come right back out here, Rob Kennedy, in the eye. And let's see if they don't shuffle across in motion here.
Luker's the fullback, Jackson the tailback. It is Luker the fullback, bounces off the initial man, goes through, and he's got some rub. Luker has some speed. The question is, are they going to catch him? The answer is no! Touchdown, Mount Blue! No flags on the play, 73 yards.
Well, you saw that one unfold, Rob Kennedy. They ran what we call the old eye guard trap. Just a guard trap up inside, the right guard pulled, and certainly hitting the line of scrimmage hard and getting full speed going was Chad Luker at 6'3", 210. He got downshifted there at the second level, and he put it in overdrive, and there was no catching Luker as he was able to go 73 yards, big touchdown run, big play again by Mount Blue.
6'3", 220 pounds. He's got some wheels. Extra point is up and good. Luker's 4th touchdown of the season. Good for 73 yards. And no one was expecting this kind of start. It's 14-0 Mount Blue.
Well, if I can, it was 80 days at Gardner this week as they did Spirit Week. And if I can preface my comment here, you'll understand with Thunderstruck. And that's certainly the case for this game right here. And Thunderstruck, I think, are the Leavitt Hornets, Rob, as they have been